welcome everybody. We have an exciting presentation lined up by Coach Abhimanyu Yadav. When we coach businesses, we are asked, how is it that I can get my team to be productive and aligned to what the organization is standing for? So, Abhimanyu, over to you.
Thank you so much, Coach Ratish. Right, and what I'm going to share today is the 6 keys to build a productive ninja team. So this is something which practically works. So this is the 4th in our 4-part series, which are linked to various areas of the business. So feel free to go back to our social media handles and go through all of them. So let me quickly jump into the agenda for today. And I will just touch upon one key highlight. I want to share those key 6 secrets and viewpoints that only 3% of the SME business owners know and implement. So before moving on, so you see the picture on the left-hand side, right? And, symbolizes if you have a glass full of water, right? If it is already full to the top, there is hardly anything new which can go in, right? So for the next 45 odd minutes, we'll request all of you to please put aside this I know, so that you are able to soak in fresh information with a new perspective. And when you see something from a new perspective, sure you get a lot of takeaways from that. So instead of saying I know, let's use isn't that interesting. And the second request that I'll have from all of you is, it is extremely important to participate. Questions. So these are some of the questions that I jotted down, which I would want to address through the discussions that we are having today. And these are the ones which routinely we come across when we are talking to business owners. So there is no second line of managers in the company. They find it very difficult to attract the right set of talent. And the people who are there go out or leave the company very frequently. Attrition is very high. The second line of leadership is not trained. They are not adept at handling the changing customer needs. And the last one, which I'm sure most of you would be relate to, that the company has the business but doesn't have the right team to execute it. So on the supply side, on the production side, there is a huge gap. So before we start, I would like to know from you, from the participants, what do you mean by team, this word team? What is the advantage that a good team gives to a business? So a team ensures that together as a team, everyone achieves more. Agree with me? Till the time a business owner is a solopreneur or initial couple of people who have started the company, but beyond that, when we want to grow, there is very little that one single or couple of people can do in terms of scaling up, right? So there you need a team which is aligned to the company and which has the right people with you moving forward. So let's jump into 6 keys to a winning team, what we want to talk today. And the gentleman on the screen, Steve Jobs, said it many times, that great things in business are never done by one single person. They are always done by a team of people. So he was a great admirer of getting in the right people, even if they are smarter than you. And if we have those kind of people on the team, then you leave them to lead the organization, to come out with ideas, contribute to the company, so that the company is not becoming a replica of the business owner. We want an evolving, thriving company, which is a combination of the thought and the contributions from multiple people. That is how we'll be able to build a big company. So with that, let me share what is the first key to a winning team. The first key actually talks about having a very strong leadership in the organization, because having a strong leadership is that foundation on which all else is built up. And when we talk about SMEs and startups, it is no one else but the business owner or the founder of the company. Many cases, you actually do not have the second line of leadership initially. You have people directly reporting into the business head. So I'm going to share this very important formula for life success with all of you. And if you have a pen and paper, please do make notes for this. that will hold you in good stead going forward. So let's take an example of a business which wants to achieve turnover of 10 crores by the end of this year. That is the have that the business has. So if you see this formula, be times do is equal to have. So what is the have in this example? The 10 crores target. So that is what we want to achieve by the end of the year. Now to achieve that, I am going to do certain activities, right? That is the doing part. So I'll do certain sales, I'll do certain marketing activities, right? I'll ramp up the production, I'll ensure that the service engine is proper. I'll do multiple activities. That is the doing part. But the surprising thing is that all of us have, these haves or these wants, and most of us are also doing it. The results are far away from most of us. And why is that? That is because of this last piece which is there, which is what we call being. So in addition to having a target and doing certain activities, you also need to be that particular person who is going to achieve what you want to achieve. So for example, if I see as a business owner, I want to go to 10 crores, but I see that my own knowledge gap is the change, the learning, the being has to start from you. Now, the leadership is also a lot passion, right? You need to be that flag holder, that flag bearer who can show the path to everyone else, and the others can rally behind you. And the second word is responsibility, right? Response plus ability. It is not reaction. The real role of a business owner, if I were to ask that, who is setting the strategy of the business? Who is setting the direction, the vision and mission for the business? Who is ensuring that, we are reacting to the changing market dynamics, right? Who is looking to hire good people, setting up the right systems and processes? That is the role of a business owner. So we need to move in a situation where we are responding and we are not reacting. Very, very important. And trust me, research proves it that humans learn by observing, by seeing others, right? So when they see the leader reacting, they will also react. And when they see the leader responding, being prepared, leading them, then trust me, tomorrow these people are going to become managers and leading various teams in your organization. They will also pick up the right cues from you and become what you want them to become, right? So passion and responsibility, very, very important two words. So leadership is actually nothing but inspiring people to do things that they themselves never thought they could do, right? So leadership creates that magic. So that is the first key that I would say, strong leadership. Very, very important. All right. So what is the second key to create that winning team? So once you have a strong leadership in place and you have all the people, the second thing that they need is they are looking at a goal post. So now why goals are important? So all of you are very smart entrepreneurs, you would know, but still. So Tony Robbins, the gentleman, most of us have read or heard from him. So he says that the secret of unleashing your true power or your true potential is setting goals that are exciting enough that they truly inspire your creativity and they ignite your passion, right? That is what the power of goal setting is, right? And how do you do it? So I'll quickly touch upon, first of all, to look at the foundation of the organization, right? Where is it that we want to go? What is it that we want to do? Right? So looking at vision and mission. So vision is nothing but a future desired state that you have of the business, right? So imagine a mental picture where, for example, my target or my vision is to go at the top of Mount Everest, right? And witness the sunset from there. So if I have that, that is my vision. And mission is how I am going to go to that top of the mountain, right? So it is the way that will take me to the desired state, right? So mission talks about the present state, who you are, why are you here, why do you even exist, right? But both, so these are, we say that, two softer aspects, but extremely important to have clarity. Okay, couple of more points on this. So vision, like I said, it is the top of the mountain where you want to go. Mission is the road which takes you there. And how are you going to achieve it? What kind of business you want to have to achieve your vision, right? What kind of people you want to have, whom you want to take at the top of the mountain with you, right? Third piece is what kind of customers that you want to work with when you're looking at your vision, who will help you achieve your vision. And fourth piece talks about what is that one unique piece which, where you stand apart from your competitors. So that's what mission does. Third piece is culture. So I already spoke about what kind of people you want to take along with you to the top of the mountain, right? Very, very important, because you don't want to have people who are not aligned to the vision and mission of the company, who are not aligned to your values, right? Who do not want to go to the top of the mountain. And goals are nothing but the staging posts. So if I want to imagine going to the top of the Mount Everest, so I'll have base camp 1, I'll have base camp 2, and I'll have base camp 3, and so on and so forth, right? So that is what goal is all about. Softer aspects, but super duper important. Please make a note of it. And this vision, if you set up this vision in the right manner, wherever we work, this vision will ensure that it inspires people. So, if the vision is clear, actually, you will not be, dragging people to come with you, right? They'll be sort of all charged up and passionate, and, they'll be sort of pushing you forward. They'll get inspired. They'll align to your vision. They'll get enrolled to your mission. And that is when, you will start winning as a company and as a business owner. So now you have strong leadership and you have a common goal. Now, what is the third thing that you need to ensure that you have a winning team? Imagine you're playing a game and there are no rules in the game. It is going to be complete chaos. You will not know whether you're winning or losing and, or fighting each other. So the third piece is setting the rules of the game. Now, if you know this gentleman on the slide, so he says that if you have to learn the rules of the game first and then play better than anyone else. Very simply put, the culture, the rules of the game within the business that you have. Tell me, if your employees are not clear as to what is expected from them, what is allowed and what is not allowed, what is the goal of the organization, then how are they going to contribute to the organization? Very difficult. So they'll do whatever comes to them, and at the end of the year, they'll come to you and ask for a pay raise, right? Because they have done really hard work. They have, according to them, whatever they are supposed to achieve, they've achieved. Look at that very closely, my dear friends, because if you're not setting the rules of the game, then who's doing it? And if no one is doing it, I can bet that it is going to be a chaos as you grow. So today, maybe you are a small team or a small organization, you are able to manage one-to-one. The moment you try and grow, it is going to create a lot of trouble, right? So here, this is the second thing that you should make a note of. So this is a framework that you create something what we call a loose versus tight culture. So it should not be so tight that people are not able to, use their creativity, their brains. It is not very long before they become disillusioned from the company and then they leave. On the other hand, you do not want to be so loose that, there is complete chaos. Nobody knows what is happening. So this happens typically when, there is no set culture. And let's say one manager comes from an organization, he brings his own set of cultures. Wahan to aise hi hota tha. There is another manager who comes on board and from a different industry, from a different context, that person creates his own set of culture. So actually within the organization, you have amalgamation of 10 different cultures which is happening. An organization is not going anywhere, not a pretty scenario. So what you want to do is to set the outer boundary. So you look at it like a field, like a football field, right? So the outer boundary is defined. So you know that this is where you need to play, this is the pitch. These are the rules of the game. Within that, the people are free to use their creativity, to use their intelligence, to use their knowledge. So the context is set by the company while the content is being managed and worked upon by people. This is a winning formula which I am sharing with all of you. So please do make a note of it, and when you go back, look at it as to how you can create this sort of a culture within your organization. And we do have frameworks. In case you have queries, come back to us. We'll share our coordinates towards the end of the presentation, and which will give you an idea as to how this is done. And mind you, friends, that when you set these standards and norms, there will be a few people who will not come along with you, who will not be happy with how things are. And that is okay. So you give them a chance to align with the company, with the vision and mission. But if somebody is not getting aligned, even after giving all the support, it is better to part ways than to continue. Mind you, more than the organization, it is actually damaging that particular employee's career. If he's spending a few years of his working life, of his productive life, being dragged in a direction where he doesn't want to go, maybe he is not fitting in here. If he goes out somewhere else, he fits in better there and is able to contribute to that company. It is okay to not expect all 100% to agree with what you're trying to do. So out of 6, we have shared 3. Now I'm going to the 4th one, the 4th key to a winning team, which is a missing link actually, most of the businesses. In the firefight, we do not actually create an action plan to execute that vision, mission, and the goals that we have, right? So when I say action plans, it is not an annual plan that we are talking about. Of course, you should have an annual plan. You should also have a 6-monthly plan, a quarterly plan, a weekly plan, and a daily plan. This is something which differentiates the 7% people who are successful. 93% of people either do not have goals or they do not take any action on it. And that is the difference which separates them from the 7% who are successful. Pablo Picasso. So he says our goals can only be reached through the vehicle of a plan. Without plan, there is actually no other route to success. Extremely important. So we hear all these things, but somewhere, we are not able to move in the direction. Goals bana bhi lete hain, but then we fail to review, update, and constantly, upgrade the goals. And since we are not doing it, we are actually not able to achieve what we want to achieve. So what should be your action plan when we talk about creating an action plan? So I'll give you a very, very simple template. You simply need to look at, when you're looking at an action plan, keep it very, very simple. Who does what and by when? Very simple template. And whenever you're looking at any action plan, look at that who is responsible for that particular action. What is he going to do in terms of steps that the person is going to take, right? And by when. So this is something what we call SMART goals. Similarly, the action plan also has to be a SMART action plan. Without a timeline, without a target, you do not have something which is achievable. So use this template, take a picture, but this is something that you can use along with whatever else that you're using, right? And how do you do this? To help you do this, look at creation of job descriptions. These job descriptions or key result areas, KPIs, key performance indicators, these are the ground rules on which you can work with your team. These are the ground rules which give clarity as to who is a star performer, who's an average performer, and who is a poor performer. So that towards the end of the year, you are again not dealing with all of them in the same manner. And the ones you want to retain who are contributing to the company, you want to retain and take them along with you on this journey. So have the job description. Nowadays, we see that a lot of good candidates say no right when you call for an interview, because there is no job description being shared. So if you just call up somebody and say, hey, we have a sales opening, would you come up? The first question that the person asks is, can you please share the details of your website? Can you please share your company presentation or some details as to where we can find this information? Can you please share what is the job description? And when they, when they do not hear an answer from the organization, they know that perhaps this is not the kind of organization they would want to work. And when the person comes on board, having the key result areas in place for that person and the key performance indicators. So I'll just take a quick example to share. For example, if you take a sales department, and let's say if I have hired a sales manager, so key result area for a sales manager would be to achieve, for example, a new business of 1 crore by the end of the year. So, so key result area would be to increase the sales of the organization. So that is the key result area. And the one I spoke about will be the key performance indicator. So how you would know that the person has performed well. So if let's say the target is to achieve 1 crore of new business by the end of the year. So if he's achieved 1 crores or more, you know, he's done well. And if he's done, let's say 50 lakhs or 30 lakhs, below par, then you would know he's not achieved. And then you can go back into the reasons why it is not done. This can be done for all departments and for most of the roles. Why I say most of the roles? Because there could be certain roles who are into, repetitive kind of jobs, routine jobs. So there we create something called key activity indicators. So if you want to learn more about this, do connect back with us. We'll be happy to help you there. Then once you have these in place, then having system manuals or SOPs in place, right? Standard operating procedures. So if you're trying to grow, just imagine you're getting in people and different people are actually handling that same thing. And the customer's experience is also going to be different if you do not have an SOP in place. Very quickly take an example of, McDonald's. All of us go to McD's. So, the experience that you have, the taste that you have of that burger, right? Whether you eat it in Gurgaon, Delhi, or Bombay, or anywhere else, any outlet is same. That is what they have achieved and which has helped them achieve the kind of scale that they have, right? So having the systems manuals in place and SOPs. So please do that for your various departments. That should be a part of your action plan. And the third piece is actually looking at closing the loop through feedback, right? Very often what we do is we create a system, we work on all this, but do not go back and give feedback and close. So, there is something of continuous improvement which is required, right? Small changes depending on what is working, what is not working. So you continue to test and measure and then change your strategy accordingly, which makes the system extremely refined over a period of time. So that's what your action plan should be. So coming to the fifth key to a winning team. And the last one, mind you, are two of the most important. So the first four, perhaps a lot of us are already aware of, but fifth and sixth, you should take special note of. Fifth one is actually talking about support risk taking. Why do we have this here? So if you look at the difference between traditional companies and the startups of today, companies which have come up in the last 10, 12 years, you see there is a stark difference. These companies would want to quickly, try out different things, fail and then come up again, fail and then come up again, right? And they are able to hit the winning formula instead of being stuck up with something which is not working, which is giving them average results, right? So that risk-taking ability, all of you would think when you started, you had that as a business owner, but you must ask whether you have that in your employees as well. Do you trust your employees with taking decisions that could lead the company forward? A couple of slides back, I was talking about loose versus tight culture. So that is what the loose part of in the culture. Within the context, within the broad context, whether you are giving them a chance to take calculated risks. Founder of Facebook, the biggest risk is actually not taking any risk in today's scenario. So important. And I'll say here, when you allow employees to take calculated risks, right, support them if they break down something, if they make a mistake, go back and analyze why that mistake was done. Go back and ensure if the system can be improved, if you can put in some automation there. So when you look at any big breakthrough, it follows a breakdown, either break away with, break apart, or break up, right? But we do not or should not get into our own shells. And the same thing, we need to be standing with the employees if they happen to make a mistake, but take that as a learning for the company. Very, very important thing. And this is the difference I say a lot many times, which the new age startups have brought in to the culture. Make small improvements. Kaizen is a very famous word in Japanese. So we say that, if let's say we've on a lighter note, we are attending this webinar, and from tomorrow, I'm going to implement all these 6 keys in the business and I'm going to change everything. It doesn't happen that way. Always focus on picking one thing, changing it, ensuring that you are constantly on it so that it is internalized by the organization and the improvement continues. So you grow, when there is a plateau, then you again grow, and it is going on, right? So that is the 5th thing. Support your employees in risk taking. Do not make them just order takers. Last piece. So the 6th key to a winning team is actually talks about 100% involvement and inclusion. Actually, when you look at an organization, it is not business owner versus others. Every single stakeholder has to be involved in the business. So you have business owner, you have the team leads who are there, you have the other resources. So every person comes with a brain along with the body. We should be able to utilize that, involve them in the decision making, take their inputs while you're putting in systems and processes in the company. Seek feedback, because these are the people who are actually facing the customer day in and day out. The kind of feedback these people are able to give or improve processes, you will be surprised many times. If you go and talk to these people, they'll have such wonderful ideas. But if you don't include them in the whole process, you're going to actually miss out on this fantastic resource that you have within the company. So this is one of the greatest coaches that we have, basketball coach actually. So he says, good teams become great ones when the members trust each other, and they trust each other enough to surrender the me for the we. So it is about the team, it is about the organization, right? And that is what great teams are made of. The team members should have that kind of confidence that if needed, the management will support us. If needed, the other team members will also support. That is when the magic starts happening and this synergy is created, right? Where usually you would have heard that, 1 + 1 is 11. So 1 + 1 doesn't become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be anything. So that is the magic which this involvement brings in. So friends, with these 6 keys, if you're able to build these 6 keys, you will be able to build a winning team. So just to summarize, strong leadership, create a common goal, create the right rules of the game, have an action plan for the business, support your employees with risk taking, and involve them 100%, include them in all the decisions, make them part of the organization. Fantastic. So we will take some Q&As, but please make up your to-do list if you are there right at the start of the webinar. I have again just reiterated which are the 6 keys. So just pick up one of these 6 and go back to your business and try and work on this. I'm sure you will see good results. We'll be happy to have your feedback. So to summarize, some of the top SME entrepreneurs have actually built these ninja teams, these world-class teams, to turbocharge their business. And now it's very important for you to make at least a start. Take a step, like I mentioned, take that one single step and move forward. That either you can look at your ceiling of your office and think that magically you are able to create these teams and you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Or you have us by your side and you can make sure that your company has these world-class teams, systems and processes so that you can conquer your particular market wherever you are. And how do we do that? So we are offering for people who are on the call, those who are interested, to set up a 30 minutes business scale-up session with us. And there is absolutely zero cost and no risk. So you'll get a chance to talk to either Coach Ratish or myself. So as they say, our chairman says, Brad Sugars, words can inspire, thoughts can provoke, but it is only action, my dear friends, which can truly bring you closer to your dreams. So with that, I leave you to get into action mode. These are my contact details, my coordinates.